it's so easy to get yourself in that, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. I have so much to do. Look what everybody's expecting of me. I'm putting out all my energy, doing all these things for other people. And then somebody's saying, I'll help you out. And it's almost like, hey, empowered vegan lifers. Ella here with my co-host, Stephanie. What's going on, Stephanie?
Hey, Ella. Not too much. It's pretty early in the morning. So I'm still kind of thinking my way through things.
It is. However, it is Friday.
It is Friday.
So that's exciting.
I've earned this one. I have earned this Friday. I have earned this weekend. I am ready. I am ready.
Do you have any plans?
You know what? No plans. We have Monday off because it's a federal holiday. And so I think we're going to do a lot of just, messing around, not doing too much. How about you? Do you have plans?
Well, let's see. This week has been starting very early, extra early. I've already been to the gym, got my workout in, which is not normal for me. That's not my preferred time to work out. But had to get it in because I'm doing this 3-day boot camp of a seminar, creating something that I can't share yet, but I love creating. So even though they've been very long days, we're packing in actually a 3-month program into 3 days. So you can imagine.
Yeah.
But it's exciting. It's exciting to create. So I love doing that. I pulled out my treadmill desk so I could watch while we're in this virtual summit. It's really hard to sit there in front of the TV, or I'm hooking my computer up to the TV, but regardless, it's so hard to sit there. So one benefit, I suppose, of having a virtual workshop, if you have a treadmill desk at home, is that you can watch on a treadmill. So that's what I've been doing.
That is a nice little perk.
Yes. But you know what I found out? From working out, especially lifting so early in the morning, I was hungry all day yesterday. I mean, I just could not eat enough food, which was very inconvenient because we had very few breaks. So I was trying to pack it in and figure out what to eat. And it was just interesting. It was interesting to feel that difference, of when I worked out versus how hungry I am.
Yeah.
And we talk about the intuitive eating all the time. And I didn't really particularly like that. So, I mean, I'm always have a pretty good appetite, but I was just hungry. I ate an entire thing of lentil pasta. Speaking of, do you have a favorite legume pasta?
Yes, I love Banza.
Me too.
But I love the Banza. I don't even know how to pronounce it. The cavatappi, the kind of corkscrew ones.
Yes.
Those are my favorite.
What are those corkscrew ones called? They are because they're softer or something. I don't know what it is.
A really interesting texture to them. I like that. But I also like the black bean pasta from Explore Asia.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that one is even more packed with protein and fiber. It's ridiculous how much fiber those Explore Asia pastas have. If you guys listening have not tried them, they're not necessarily, taste like pasta, the white pasta. Whereas Banza to me has a very similar feel and look. Whereas the other ones, you have to kind of get it out of your head that this is going to taste exactly like pasta. It's not.
No.
But you can use it in so many different ways, and stir fries, and there's just endless things that you can do and be creative. You're super creative with your food. What do you do with the black bean pasta?
Well, I throw it in stir fries most of the time. Yeah. Or a cold soba noodle type salad, with sesame. Yeah. A little bit of sesame oil and I don't know, sugar snap peas, those kinds of things.
Yep.
But that it has kind of an earthy taste to it, which I really like. So it doesn't need a whole lot of dressing or sauce or anything.
Yeah, I do too. And it's just a matter of taste, but literally I can't remember exact numbers, but I believe those pastas have something like 24 grams of protein per serving, 24 grams. And then the fiber is something like 20, maybe 24 grams of carbs and 17 grams of fiber.
Yeah.
Which is just ridiculously high. So cool.
It is. It is. And once you start using them kind of in a rotation, you find that, at least I have found, that I can just get a whole lot of bang for my buck with a little bit of pasta thrown in.
Exactly.
You can't go wrong there.
I agree. Well, you asked about my weekend. Well, tonight we are going to watch the Heat game. We are down. We've got a very young new squad, but we are in the finals. We are in the playoffs, and we're down 3-1 to the Lakers.
Okay.
But it's exciting. It's exciting. We're there. Whether we're going to win, likely not. But I think we're set up for a really good season. And I love watching sports. It's kind of my way to disconnect and just have a little break from my brain, if that makes sense.
I hear you.
So that's what I use sports for. So I don't spend a lot of time like figuring out stats and knowing names and everything, but I'll show up and watch a game and watch football. However, random thought, which I love to have random thoughts.
They're my favorite.
I had this thought the other day watching football, and I actually haven't watched football in 2 weeks, but the football is called pigskin because it's leather. Yeah. I think it's time to have a movement that changes the football from animal leather to, say, pineapple leather.
Right.
Or some sort of awesome synthetic leather or all natural, plant-based leather, because there are so many different options and so many companies coming out with these amazing different types of materials that are leather-like, that they're using in cars and for shoes and for all these different products. So why not a football?
I think that's a fantastic idea. And, a few years ago, well, actually it was just last year, I think, I was looking for vegan ball gloves for my son. And there are very few out there. So, it's time to start revolutionizing the sports world. There's plenty of other alternative materials out there. So I agree.
Yeah, thank you. I agree as well. And I think that more and more football players are actually going vegan now. That's a thing. I think we could get some support on the inside.
I think so too. Maybe we should send them a Vegans Taste Better shirt with a little note.
You know who's going to be getting a shirt really soon?
I think I do. Can I say it?
Please.
Lizzo.
Oh, well, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. I love that woman so much.
I was going to say Cam Newton because he's a football player. If we were talking about football.
Oh, Jiminy Christmas. Yeah. Sorry. I told you it's early.
Did you just say Jiminy Cricket? What'd you say?
I think I said Jiminy Crickets. I might have said Jiminy Christmas because sometimes I do. I like mix my metaphors. I sounded so Nebraskan just then.
Yes, I have to say that is adorbs. I have to say.
Thank you.
I had an ex-boyfriend who abbreviated everything. Everything. So every time I abbreviate something, I think of him, which is not necessarily a good thing. And all right, today we are talking about overwhelm, which has a correlation with busyness, which we spoke about a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
But there's some differences too. And the truth is, when we get in a state of overwhelm, which so many of us do so much of the time, it really goes beyond being busy.
Yeah.
It's when you get to the point where you are being controlled by your thoughts and it feels like life is happening to you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
And I'm guessing our listeners do too. It can be debilitating, really.
Yeah.
And it starts that spiral downward oftentimes. So I want to not necessarily get too much into the why, but let's talk about some actual practical, actionable steps that our listeners can take starting today to prevent or reverse being overwhelmed when you get in that state. So,
Sounds good.
Yeah, first one, that whole saying no thing. How about starting by giving yourself permission to say no? Stop saying yes to shit you don't want to do. Why do we feel we need to do that all the time? So when you say yes, or when saying yes, when that will take you into a state of overwhelm, that's when you know it's time to look at that potential yes and know that it might be a potential no.
Yeah.
The consequences are worse than if you say, it's easier if I just do it than if I say no.
Mm.
It leads to resentment, to overwhelm, to being, pissy to people you care about. When you get in those moods and you're not pleasant to be around, you take it out on your family or whoever's around. And when you say yes to more things than you can handle, the quality of what you're doing declines anyway, right? So do you want to get a lot of things accomplished half-assed, or do you want to do a few things and do them really well and put your full energy and effort into those things? And we have to remember, the root of this is there's people pleasing, which there's the root of that is even deeper, but really it's rooted in a lack of self-worth.
Yeah.
And that feeling of guilt when you put yourself and your needs first. Even when you understand that putting on your oxygen mask first is what's most important. It is going to lead to you being, your best self and being able to be more helpful to other people around you.
Yeah.
So that's number one.
Yeah. Yeah. So number 2 is eliminate unhelpful and self-imposed rules for yourself. Rules are much different than commitments. Rules are inflexible. They don't take into consideration changes in your circumstances. They are really part of that all or nothing kind of mindset. Rules like I have to attend every one of my daughter's swim meets. Well, that's an awesome thing to want to do. And you certainly can make the commitment to attend your daughter's swimming meets, but maybe you're really studying for an important exam and you choose to between studying and giving yourself a shot at an A or going to your daughter's third swim meet of the week, and maybe you ask her dad if there's some time so that you can stay out of that overwhelmed state while giving yourself that chance to do what's best for you at the moment.
Yeah, and we talk about rules a lot, having to do with many different things. In this case, preventing overwhelm. In many other cases, talking about rules of dieting, what I should and shouldn't eat. This is bad. This is good.
Yeah, and I think that when we take it into the diet world and the exercise world, that can create some of that overwhelm that keeps you from your goals. Because we have that feeling of it's like we said, all or nothing. I ate an Oreo. Well, forget it now. I'm going to start again on Monday kind of thinking. So, and that comes from a place of overwhelm.
Absolutely. I think that's such a good point with the all or nothing. Eating that one Oreo, you say, you know what? I already broke the rule. So, my record is, over. I might as well.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to put myself in nutrition jail.
Exactly.
Until Monday.
Exactly. So I already broke the rule. Might as well just eat the box. Yeah. And then what does that lead to? Of course, horrible feelings of guilt and and spiraling down in that hopelessness of here I go again. And then, So, all right, prioritizing self-care. And I think this also is related to number 1 in that we have to say no to some things in order to say yes to ourselves and to recharging. So what does that look like for you? what does recharging, because to me, when I think about self-care, I really think about what it takes for you to recharge and how different that looks for everybody. You know, for some people, it is going to get a massage or getting your nails done. For me, I could give two shits about my nails.
All right. So here's a little strategy. Run it through the test. Eliminate, delegate, postpone. First of all, you ask yourself, can you just eliminate the task altogether? Maybe it's just not yours to do. Maybe it's just completely unnecessary. Run it through that question. Can I eliminate this task? Second one, can you delegate the task to someone else? Maybe somebody else can just take it on. It doesn't have to be you. And then the third one, can you just postpone it and then revisit later? Now, that's a lot different than procrastinating. Procrastinating is putting something off that you should do. But postponing is just, okay, this is not the level of urgency that it's perceived to be. I can do this later. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. So I would just suggest also creating some solid systems to help you stay out of that overwhelm through organization. I think Trello has been a good tool for both of us. And it's really saving. I know I used to be like kind of a sticky note hoarder. And it kind of saves that the sticky note overwhelm. It creates the to-do lists, and it just kind of gives you a system to put in place. And you can even put it in terms of priorities. But set up systems for even the simplest things, like taking out the garbage, walking the dog, laundry, and just figure out what you can delegate then. And then the first thing to schedule into your week is planning your time to organize your upcoming week. That is a form of self-care. Figure out what might overwhelm you, and then just create a plan so that doesn't happen, so that everything has its place.
Yeah, so important. I think we get halfway through the week and we're realizing that we don't have a plan, but now we don't have time to make a plan. And right. That really does, just talking about that, it puts me in a state of overwhelm to some degree. And Trello, yes, Trello for me works really well. Anne from the Hogs and Kisses Sanctuary, I was saying, let's use Trello. And she said, oh no, that does not work for me. And so she is like uber type A, but maybe doesn't have the creative side possibly that I have, that Trello works really well for. She'd rather have a spreadsheet. She'd rather have things very, cut and dry.
Yeah.
So it's not for everybody, but it's definitely worth checking out. And there are endless ways you can organize it. And I am not an ambassador for Trello, but I am a big fan. So
yes.
Which brings us to our last tip or tool is ask for help, or at least accept other people's offers. Mm-hmm. How many times, if you're a people pleaser, like I am recovering from, it's hard to set boundaries. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to accept help, even when you know you need it. And that unwillingness to accept help, it usually does have to do with the lack of self-worth or an inflated ego. Either way.
Yeah.
It could be either way. When you choose to stay in overwhelm, though, you're choosing to play the victim when it comes down to it. Mm-hmm. And I've had to remind myself that over and over again. It's so easy to get yourself in that, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. I have so much to do. Look what everybody's expecting of me. I'm putting out all my energy, doing all these things for other people. And then somebody's saying, I'll help you out. And it's almost like you're stuck in that mode of, no, like a martyr almost mentality. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Yeah. Whereas, I feel that.
Right. And you can just accept it and be grateful. Say thank you. Say, sure. Thank you. And you can think about it as giving others an opportunity to give. Mm-hmm. And when people give, they get back if they feel good about themselves. So if you need to think about it in those terms, think about it in those terms. Mm-hmm. And you know that you'll pass the favor along when it's time for them to need help and you're in a position to help them.
Yeah.
I know you can relate to this as well, Stephanie.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love being the hero. And that's all ego, it's all ego, and it's a hard thing to face, but the other thing is that I always feel like I'm imposing, and I don't want to impose on people, even if they offer, which is ridiculous. Now, I know how I feel when I help people. It's my favorite thing to do. It makes me feel great. So why would I block somebody from receiving that blessing of helping me? It doesn't make any sense, but it's a pattern to break, for sure.
That's such an important distinction to make, and kind of shift in perspective.
Yeah.
Everything's a shift in perspective.
Right. Very true.
Yes. Well, those are our tips. I hope you took some notes. Just using one of those, put one of those to use. I think a lot of the times there's a million great podcasts out there saying great tips and tools, but what happens? We can get overwhelmed with all the tips and tools. Right. So pick one and commit to that one to work on this week. Yeah. That's what I'm going to recommend. You don't try to get all of them in. Write down one of those. Put it on a sticky note. Put a note on your phone. Commit to that one change in your behavior and in your mindset, because that's how we reprogram. And anytime we talk about reprogramming, I'm going to tell you to go back and listen to episodes 4 and 7, I believe. I need to get those. I need to have those written down. But on the self-empowerment coaching system, on the way we teach you to systematize your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and ultimately give you control over your outcomes, over your results. Yeah. It's a powerful, powerful system, a powerful tool. It's the foundation for Vegan Life Coach Academy, and it will empower you beyond any other of these little tools, because they're going to make any of these tools possible for you to embody and use and make true changes in how you think, how you feel, and how you move through the world, how you operate. So,
absolutely.
Anything else, Stephanie?
I can't think of a thing. I think we have covered it all.
All right. Well, I'm going to go eat some Banza rice. I'm going to try some Banza rice.
Oh, I've seen that right rice.
I haven't seen that.
And I've wanted to try it, but I think it's the same idea.
Yes, chickpea rice. And I'm going to put a bunch of broccoli on it because broccoli fills me up, number one. And Shai loves broccoli. And I love sharing with Shai.
I love that. I love that he loves broccoli.
Yes, she loves broccoli and cucumbers. Like those, I think those are her 2 favorite vegetables.
I tried to feed Hemi a cucumber the other day, and I actually even said, Shai loves these. and Hemi was like,
no, not my thing.
He was like, Shai can have all the cucumbers.
Well, she'd fight him for it. So
well, he would be a gentleman and give them to her.
Oh my goodness. I think he would. And he's how many pounds?
Probably 50 now. Maybe. I mean, he gets lots of treats, so maybe more. I don't know.
Yeah. Shai's a whole 10 pounds and thinking she's might be 100 pounds, but she's small but mighty. Small but mighty.
I hear you.
All right, you guys. Thanks for tuning in with us. We love you. And we would also greatly appreciate it if you take 2 seconds to just give us some stars and leave us an authentic review, and to pass us on to your friends and your family.
Absolutely.
Share. Until next time.
Until next time.